On Tuesday and Wednesday, July 16th and 17th, the Royal Aviation Museum of Western Canada will be hosting a very special event that features a very special aircraft. Called Lancaster Days, this display will highlight the renowned Avro Lancaster bomber. Used by the Royal Air Force and the Royal Canadian Air Force during the Second World War, the Lancaster bomber became an icon of the Commonwealth during the war, flying 156,000 sorties between 1942 and 1945. According to Bomber Command Museum figures, 3,932 of the Lancasters produced did not make it home from their missions, and many of these missions carried Canadian airmen. Today, there are only 2 surviving Lancasters that are airworthy, one in England and one that is maintained and housed at the Canadian Warplane Museum in Hamilton, Ontario. And it is that aircraft that will be here in Winnipeg on the 16th and 17th. And joining me here in the Classic 107 studios to talk about Lancaster Days, I am joined by the CEO of the Royal Aviation Museum of Western Canada, Terry Slobodian. Hey, Terry, nice to have you here.
Great to be here. Thank you.
So this is super exciting. One of only 2 airworthy Lancasters is going to be here. When was the last time this plane visited Winnipeg, and what was the public reception like when it was here the last time?
Yeah, so the last time it was here was in 2010, so 14 years ago. The first time was 35 years ago. So it's a very important fixture as part of the museum's occasional visiting aircraft. The reception last time, thousands of people came out. I'm told that some waited 6 hours to see the Lancaster. So it's a super iconic aircraft, and lots of people, for lots of reasons, want to come see it.
So not only is it going to be here, but there is very much a Winnipeg connection with this particular Lancaster. Can you talk about Andrew Minarski and how he's related to this aircraft?
Yeah, so Andrew Minarski, he was born here in Winnipeg, and he won the Victoria Flying Cross because of his heroism. He had the option to bail out of the Lancaster, but chose to kind of stay behind and free his tail gunner. And so in the end, he survived, but then he died because of wounds, fire wounds.
Yeah, right.
And so he's a local hero, and they've named this particular Lancaster bomber after him because of his heroism.
Yeah, and then my understanding is the plane is painted in the colors of his squadron, right?
That's exactly right. Yes, it's in his squadron colors.
When I was prepping for the interview, I learned that it was the Lancaster was not only built in England, there were Lancasters that were built here in Canada as well, right?
Yes, that's 100% correct. Built in Ontario. There was, I think, almost 5,000 were built in Ontario.
Yeah. An aircraft manufacturing company called the Victory Aircraft, apparently. Yeah.
Yes, that's correct.
Yeah. Can you talk about briefly why it was so effective as a bomber?
So it had 4 Rolls-Royce engines. It was highly maneuverable. It had strength and durability and was able to carry large bomb loads. And its strength helped it survive flak and interceptor aircraft.
Yeah. So it was super strong and a sturdy machine. One of the things I wonder about is how does the Canadian Warplane Museum keep it functional? And it's not like you can go out to the store and buy a gas line for a 1940s Lancaster. How do they keep it in the air?
Exactly. I think I can answer that question similar to our museum. Our museum is 50 years old, and if you go into our museum, you'll see a lot of aircraft that look very impressive. Well, they were wrecks. They found them at the bottom of a lake or in a forest or in the side of a mountain. And so volunteers who are talented in metalwork, woodwork, avionics, pilots, all come together and do the restoration. In their case, they're taking it to one level further to make it flyworthy, and so it's the expertise. But then also we have a network of museums across the country where, in fact, we have donated an engine to Canadian Warplane Museum. So we swap parts, if you will. So there's opportunities if we're restoring something or they're in need of something that we actually make trades. So in their case, I would say that obviously to keep so many aircraft airworthy, they have a very, very talented volunteer base.
And this is only one of two airworthy Lancasters. My understanding is there are Lancasters that just, they don't fly.
That's right.
Do they scavenge off those at all? Like off those, or do you know?
I don't know specifically, but sometimes that's the case, is that a museum such as ours might have a static display, and there's a particular engine that's desperately needed or a particular part, and if it's not going to hurt the showworthiness of the aircraft, and sometimes parts are traded that way.
Yeah. Okay, so on Tuesday, Lancaster Days, it starts at 4 p.m. Can you talk us through the evening of the 16th? What can visitors expect?
Yeah, so what we encourage people to do is to go to our website and sign up in advance, because I mentioned to you last time, people lined up for 6 hours. They don't need to do that. We have more technology today than we had 14 years ago, and so people can choose the time that they come. So when they do come, the Lancaster will be. We have 4 acres of land where our museum is on the Winnipeg Airport campus, and so it'll be parked outside on our tarmac just off the runway, and so people will actually be able to go inside. Inside of the Lancaster, and that'll be memorable for many people, because many, in fact, my uncle and a lot of other people from here learned how to fly this side of the pond through the British Commonwealth Air Training Program, whether it be at Brandon or another base, and then served on the Lancaster. Wow. So we have a lot of family members, whether it be grandchildren or sons or daughters of people that were a part of the crews on the Lancaster, who will come and they'll be blown away by the experience, because they'll be able to relive what it might have been like to be a bomb aimer or sit in the cockpit and so on. So it'll be, and for history buffs, it's a great opportunity, because as you said at the beginning, it's an iconic World War II aircraft.
Yeah, absolutely. Can you talk about the film that's going to be shown, Reunion of Giants? I saw the trailer for it, and my understanding is it's really a tribute to the airmen, right? And that film is going to be shown on the 16th, right? That's
right. And the Reunion of Giants aspect of it is the... I think it was 10 years ago that Lancaster from Canada flew to England, and the two giants reunited, and they actually flew in the skies together. So it's a tribute to the airmen, but also a reunion of the last two flying Lancasters in the world. Yeah, so the Lancaster from Canada and the Lancaster of England flew together. Mm-hmm. Then on the 17th, the Lancaster will be on display. Will visitors get to tour the aircraft and see inside on the 17th as well? Yes, exactly as I described previously. They'll, again, please book in advance so you don't have to wait. And also we may be sold out. Because I think our capacity ends up being around 3,000 people for the time periods that we have, and they'll be able to go into the aircraft as well. Fantastic. For you as the CEO of the Royal Aviation Museum of Western Canada, why is it so important that this Lancaster is here, and what are you looking forward to most about having it here? Well, there's so many reasons why it's important. So our mission as a museum is to preserve and promote the stories of Western Canada aviation. So clearly, from what I said earlier, many Canadians from Winnipeg trained and flew into Lancaster, either as pilots or as bomb aimers or whatever. So it's part of us telling the story. But also, even though we have 20-some aircraft on display, it's super exciting to be able to bring in a special weekend or special days where visitors can explore those aircraft. For me personally, my uncle was a Lancaster bomber pilot and did 32 missions. So on a personal note, it's super exciting. And in the process, We have met a whole bunch of people whose family member was also served on the Lancaster bomber. So it's a great opportunity for us to connect with the community and for them to connect with us and with their family history.
Perfect. This has been so great. I'm gonna wrap up the conversation by asking, where can people go to find out more details about Lancaster Days?
Yes, to our website, royalaviationmuseum.com, and everything is there, including the opportunity to secure tickets.
Perfect. Derry, this has been so great to meet you and have you here. Having this plane here is really going to be something special. Thanks for taking the time out of your very, very busy schedule and to stop by and talk to me today. It's been great.
You're more than welcome. Thank you for the opportunity.